Daybreak is a new series on Netflix, 10 episodes long. Each episode's about 45 minutes in length. It is something I had no idea what it was going to be until it just popped up on my recommendations as something to watch. It's about a guy called Josh and his friends who are surviving the apocalypse. There has been a load of bombs dropped all over the world due to things breaking down, and this wiped out the majority of the population except for teenagers, leaving the adults as sort of ghoulies, these sort of zombie-like things. So they're not kind of zombies, and they make it very clear that you can get bitten by them and nothing changes you. They're simply the result of a chemical weapon attack as part of these nuclear bombs that dropped on people. And the teenagers have all divulged into these stereotypical peer groups. Imagine at the start of Clueless when they're walking around, they're showing you all the different groups of teens. So you've got like the jocks, the nerds, the young farmers in this case, cheerleaders. Rather than sort of all go and work together, they've all just branched off into sort of bigger, more stereotypical versions of these groups. And it's like a sort of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, because there's lots of fourth wall breaking by Josh and all the characters, crossed with Mad Max, crossed with Clueless, as they're all just trying to get along. It's very sort of upbeat, it's comedic, it knows what it is. It's not particularly heavy at all, though they do cover some issues. There's things about like sexuality and being abandoned by your parents and stuff like that in there, but they never dwell on it too much. It's incredibly fun to watch. I really enjoyed it. I didn't feel like I was ever binging episodes, but I'd watch a couple in a row and not feel as though I sort of had to slog through any episodes. There's only one instance where I got cheesed off with it, and that was because they started trying to lay stuff on a bit thick, and it just totally grated with the tone of the show up to that point and after it. And it was episode 8 called Postmates. It just focuses on these two waiting for a meal to arrive in 45 minutes, and they go to have sex and they have a discussion and stuff like that. It just felt like things were being rammed down my throat, and it just wasn't in keeping with the sort of up nature of the show. Matthew Broderick is in it, and you initially think he's just having a bit of a cameo as the head teacher of this school because of obviously his role as Ferris Bueller and the similarities to that. Also because of the film Election as well that he did, where he played a sort of similar role as a teacher. But actually you find out he's got a very, very big and important role in this show as it develops. I liked all the characters in it. They're all sort of exaggerated stereotypes, but they're all fun. And it's just written with a light touch. I had a look at some reviews from critics and they absolutely hated it. But I think I'm not quite sure what they're trying to expect to come from this. I mean, it was light like the first couple of seasons of Buffy was light. And I thought, okay, do you know what? I watched it. I was entertained. I'm not going to think that it's going to win any wars, and I don't care if it does or doesn't. And I'm not even that worried if there's a second series of it. There's a character that has a turn at the very end of the series that is kind of unexpected, and it just felt a little bit weird and a little bit sort of unearned, this turn. And I'm just not quite sure what they think they're doing when they're doing it. But it didn't ruin the show. It was just sat there going, well, what the fuck did they do that for? That's just stupid. But I suppose they've got to have a twist for people to watch for the next season. But you don't have to. It has a contained story, and I'm quite happy with the way it ended. I definitely think it's worth watching. If you've got any views on it, let me know. There's lots of little Easter eggs, by the way, seeded through this. Things like the mask of Turbo. One of the guys, he's got it's the same as the Mad Max face mask that he wears in Fury Road. There's lots of other little bits. If you spotted anything like that, I'd be interested to know. And just feel free to like and subscribe.